Holy shit, that was great. It was a double fake out. I love that. I love that. If that was intentional, so whoever was in charge of that needs to get a promotion, okay? Because that was beautiful. That was like they knew that, like, okay, the episode synopsis are gonna leak like a month in advance, so people are gonna know about this. The big shocker that, oh no, Majin Buu can't participate in the Tournament of Power for Universe 7. So instead, Goku decides to go resurrect Frieza, and he's gonna be the 10th warrior. And it's like, oh no, Frieza, but he's a bad guy, and he's fighting with the good guys. This is crazy. And it's like, okay, everyone's gonna lose their shit over that. But we're gonna take it one step further. We're gonna double down with this, and during the next batch of episode spoilers, we're gonna reveal that Frieza is actually not going to fight for Universe 7. He's gonna jump ship to Universe 4, and we're gonna keep the identity of the true 10th warrior of Universe 7 a mystery. It's not gonna be revealed in the synopsis. So, you know, spoilers and all that crap. I don't usually even talk about spoilers and all this stuff, but as you could probably see from the thumbnail, I have my idea on who's going to be the 10th member, and I'm really excited for this, just because, you know, in the age of the internet where spoilers are abundant, and I've just kind of gotten used to it. Like, I don't really care about spoilers, you know. When we found out that Frieza was going to be the 10th member, it wasn't like I was like, oh god, I'm spoiled. But it's cool whenever, if this was intentional, it's cool that, like, the studios are aware that, like, spoilers kind of do happen, so it's like, oh, we're going to do a double fake out, and we're going to get these people really surprised. So if that was intentional, then the little extra effort is greatly appreciated. But okay, before we get into theories, let's just do a brief check of the stats here. These are the episodes synopsis for episode 95 through 98. We're really only going to be focusing on episode 95 and 96 here. So yeah, next episode, episode 95, is going to feature, I guess, a little bit of a sparring match between Goku and Frieza. That's going to be pretty cool. But then the God of Destruction from Universe 4, the little Simpson mouse dude, Katela, he's or Katila, whatever. I can't pronounce Tequila anyway, so let's just go with Jerry the mouse. Anyway, he you know, he sent his spies to all the different universes to try to get warriors, and he's gonna go and like, oh, this this great warrior of darkness, Frieza, that's pretty cool. Let's go try to lure him to our side. And let's be honest, probably didn't take very much. I mean, Frieza could just be like, well, I could fight for Universe 7 alongside every single person I hate the most, or I could go over to this. Actually, you know what? Fuck you guys. I don't even care what you're offering. I'm going with you. Maybe Universe 4 works a little bit differently. Maybe it's like the more dastardly and evil you are, you get a higher spot in heaven after you die. Or maybe it's like, you know, you could be the next God of Destruction. Ooh, that would be cool. That would be fucking cool if Kateli offers Frieza, like, hey, if you come over to our side and you help us win, you know, I could make you the next God of Destruction. That would seem like something Frieza would be, you know, go for. But anyway, yeah, so Frieza jumps ship, and Goku and the gang are like, oh crap, we don't have any time left. So the next episode, 96, that's when they go to the Tournament of Power venue with only 9 members. But a person appears there. A mysterious individual arrives there. And who is that person going to be? Who is going to be the 10th warrior? It's going to be pretty nuts. And I don't see them, considering everything the Grand Priest is up to and what he's done up to this point, I don't think the Grand Priest is ever going to let them squeak by with just 9. There definitely has to be a 10th warrior, that something's going to happen there. And oh, by the way, this is the later episode. I wasn't going to mention it that much, but it is revealed that whoever falls off, I mean, most people could have probably figured this, but most people that fall off the tournament arena for the Tournament of Power, they just go poof. They disappear. They don't die necessarily. They just, you know, get wiped from existence. The same thing that happens with the universes that would end up losing. So we kind of already figured that was going to happen. But yeah, no killing in the tournament. But if you fall off, you will be just poofed out of existence. So, you know, that's some concern there. But anyway, yeah, who is going to be the 10th fighter for Universe 7? You know, there's a lot of theories. People are just kind of like grabbing onto anything at this point because, you know, there's not a lot of time left. You know, who could Goku possibly, conceivably get to be the 10th fighter? And from the way that this synopsis is laying it out, it seems like Goku doesn't actually come up with anything. Nobody does. They go to the tournament grounds just expecting them to maybe we could squeak by with just 9. But then at the last minute, this mysterious individual appears and like kind of just like saves the day. Like, whoa, we didn't even think about you. So from that standard and from what you could see here, my thoughts on it, I think it's going to be Trunks. I can't really see anybody else because, you know, if it was somebody else on the Earth, you think Goku would just grab them. In that case where it's like only an hour left, if it was gonna be Mr. Satan, Goku would just grab Mr. Satan. If it was gonna be Yamcha, Goku would just grab Yamcha. It's not gonna be like, they arrive at the tournament venue and then this mysterious person is revealed to be the final fighter. And you know, the Goku and the gang, they just don't know who that was. They didn't know that person was coming. They probably do know them, but they're just like, oh wow, we didn't even think you could show up. You know, there you go. So I don't think it's anybody from Earth, certainly. I guess you could make a few arguments for people that are not currently on Earth or people that are currently deceased. I got some people throwing out the idea of Cell, and I think there's a few reasons that that's not gonna fly. So, the first and foremost reason, there's actually a rule in the tournament that you can't have, you know, fully, you know, artificial life being, you know, participating in the tournament. That's why whenever Beerus heard that 17 and 18 were androids or, you know, Jinzen Negan or, you know, modified humans or whatever, he was a little bit like, oh, is that that sounds like that's a little bit against the rules there. And they said, well, no, they were humans originally. They were born as flesh and blood humans. It's just that they were modified. And they're like, all right, we should be able to squeak by with that. Although I would still question whether that constitutes having weaponry. You know, if you're like a modified human to the point where you have like all this extra gear in you, I would assume that counts as a weapon, but maybe they could squeak by with that on a technicality. Cell, on the other hand, is not that case. Cell was created 100% artificially from other warriors' cells combined with Dr. Giro's technology. He was like a biological android. You know, he was not born flesh and blood. He's not a naturally occurring organism, so I don't think that he could fly. Also, another big one is that you just got double-crossed by Frieza. You just went on a limb to try to recruit Frieza, and he just screwed you over. What makes you think Cell is going to be any better in that situation? No, seriously, what makes you think that? Like, okay, we tried, you know, we tried bringing a villain to our side, and maybe we could pull together under a common cause, but that bit us right in the freaking go-tanks, so maybe we can go with another villain, and that'll get us. Like, no, I don't think Cell's gonna fly here at all. So, sorry, Cell people. Also, something else that doesn't make any sense is, and this is a guy, he always gets brought up occasionally, and it's one of those things where it's like, I liked his character, but he's not canon. And a lot of people seem to forget that he's not canon, and that is Pikkon. You have to understand, Pikkon literally was created just to have that kind of Goku Piccolo dynamic again. So it's like his personality could like mimic early Piccolo while Goku was in the Other World tournament. That was like the whole goal of Pikkon. That's where his design comes from. That's where his attitude comes from. He's literally just like a carbon copy of Piccolo because they were like, oh, we're going to be doing this Other World tournament arc in the anime. Oh, we need to make like a rival character for Goku, you know, in the tournament. So let's create let's create one of his original rivals, Piccolo. Let's just change him around a little bit and boom, there's Pikkon. But, you know, I don't have any problem with Pikkon. I liked him in Fusion Reborn, you know, whatever. But he's not canon, and it would make zero sense for him to show up here at all. So here's another one though that is just kind of sad more than anything else. Yamcha. Right? Okay, so I feel so bad for Yamcha. I mean, more so than usual. I mean, there's always like a level of like, oh god, poor Yamcha. But in this case, I feel even worse for him, you know? Because pretty sure he's not going to be the final warrior. And it's like, he gets so many chances. It's like, when Goku was out trying to gather all the members, he was sitting in his apartment like, oh, I'll definitely get an invite. And then after all the 10 members have been decided, we as the fans are like, oh, poor Yamcha. But then that slot gets opened up when Boo falls asleep, and it's like, oh, maybe, well, now Yamcha, no, poor Yamcha, damn, Frieza, oh, wait, now Frieza's not gonna, well, maybe Yamcha, no, it's not gonna be Yamcha, because, like I said, if it was gonna be something like that, you think Goku would just be like, oh, shit, we gotta be at the tournament grounds in 5 minutes, shit, 10 members, Yamcha, come on, just hang out in the back, and, just pretend to be invisible. Actually, you know what, just pretend to be yourself, you'll be fine, let's go. But that's not the case. That's not what happens. They only go with the 9 members. So, sorry, Yamcha. I know you wanted to try out your epic baseball spirit orb technique madness. I know you wanted to give the Wolf Fang Fist another shot on the universal level, but I don't think that you're going to be cutting the mustard. I'm sorry, bro. Here's another idea that, okay, it makes sense, but it would just make that it would just mean that this whole Frieza betrayal revival thing was just a complete circle jerk. And that is that either Beerus or Whis managed to wake up Majin Buu, and then just Buu proceeds to be the 10th member as he was always intended to be. Now, the reason I think that makes sense is, you know, if Whis is able to fucking just, you know, pa, and then just, like, have a fucking baby just born, you know, he probably has a magic spell in his arsenal that can wake somebody up from a deep slumber. Or, worst case scenario, Beerus could literally just beat him awake as a god of destruction. It probably could work that way. In fact, that probably could have worked as it happened. Like, you know, Goku and Bulma, they get the call from Satan. Like, that sounded wrong. Like, it's like, yeah, this is Satan. We're gonna, yeah, whatever. Buu is asleep. And Beerus immediately is like, I'm gonna go beat him up. And then Whis is like, oh, Master Beerus, but you're always asleep anyway. Ho, ho, ho. And then Beerus is like, you take that back, Whis. I'm like, hey, guys, we get it. Beerus is like a lazy fuck, like 9 out of 10 times, but, what part of him going and beating Majin Buu awake, what part of that is a bad plan? Because, yeah, it's funny because Majin Buu's asleep, and then Beerus is usually asleep. Haha, that's great. What's stopping you from actually going and beating him awake? Because that seems like a good plan to me. It makes sense, or Whis could do it. It makes sense, but then that would mean, like, this whole thing has been just a massive circle jerk. Like, Buu's asleep! We need to resurrect Frieza! Resurrected Frieza! Oh shit, Frieza betrayed us! Oh, Buu's awake! Okay! It would be like, alright, what are we doing here? You know? And once again, I feel like if that was the situation, then wouldn't the synopsis, it would just say, like, Buu arrives, as he wakes up at the last minute and he becomes the final member that he was already, you know, at, so, whatever, okay. But then we get, there's a few other ideas out there, too, thrown around. I heard, Deborah would be a good idea, you know, but I feel like that's more of, like, I don't know, like, Deborah, okay, fine, I guess, but he's, like, kind of like the same vein as Frieza. I mean, yeah, he went to heaven and he was kind of reformed, but you think of, like, his techniques that he has, like his stone spit thing, and I'm like, well, that could actually kill somebody, because if you spit on them, they turn to stone in the middle of a giant battle royale. That could end up them getting killed, so that was the case. And maybe, and it was never really revealed, maybe if, you know, he was kind of an okay guy in heaven, but maybe if you, like, resurrect him from heaven, he'll revert back to his old ways. I don't know how that works with Deborah, but okay, Deborah, not a bad idea. But I want to throw Trunks in there, because it makes the most sense. Trunks has already been established in Dragon Ball Super. He's been reintroduced into the franchise. We know he's strong. We know he's capable. We know he has levels before. We went into that Super Saiyan fucking rage mode thing against Zamos and Black. His arc was just his arc was just the previous arc. He's there, you know, all it would really take is, like, the Supreme Kai to get another time ring and go and back and bring him. That's what I think is going to go down. I think it's like Goku and everybody's going to go to the venue. They're going to be like, what are we going to do? And then Supreme Kai just, you know, Kai shows up with freaking, and Kibito show up with freaking Trunks. And Trunks is like, hey, I heard you guys need my help. The one problem with that, of course, is the whole messing with time thing is against, like, universal law, and the Grand Priest and Zeno are, like, right fucking there, you know? But you don't have to tell them that. They're not omnipotent in the point that they just know everything, you know? So you could bring Trunks there and just, like, you know, King Kai takes off, they take off the rings of time, and they're like, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. Here's Trunks. Here's the 10th Warrior. No, he's definitely from A Universe 7. What was that? Oh, no, he's definitely from the Universe 7. You know? I think that would make the most sense there. He's cooperative. He will listen to orders. Him and Gohan they could do a thing, together. They're very smart. Trunks learned from Gohan. You don't have to worry about Trunks accidentally killing fucking opponents. You don't have to worry about Trunks betraying or getting distracted. His battle power, maybe he increased his power in the short time since we've seen him before. I am a huge fan of Trunks. He's probably one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, the entire franchise, period. Probably easily in the top 5, maybe even in the top 3. Even since I was a kid, I liked this guy with the fucking sword and everything. How could you not? But yeah, I mean, for a mysterious character that is not being revealed in the synopsis, somebody that is obviously not from Earth, because Goku would have just grabbed them and taken them, probably not going to be from the rest of the universe, because you think somebody would figure that out. Not a villain, because we already tried that with Frieza, and that didn't work. So if you try to resurrect another, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're a fucking douchebag. You know what I mean? Like you can't try to bring back another villain. That's why even Deborah, I'm kind of like on the fence there if he's still a bad guy if he brings them back. He's the Lord of the Makai realm. I mean, I'm just saying, there's some latent evil in the guy. Yeah, and then you have other guys like Yamcha and Mr. Satan that, if you're just trying to fill a spot, that's one thing. But then this whole information coming to light about if you fall, you disappear and stuff like that, I think it would make more sense to have an actual fighter here that is, competent. And you know what? It's cool. We're still going to get Frieza there. We're still going to get Frieza fighting Frost probably. Oh, and hey, guess what else might happen? Frieza and Trunks in the same room or in the same arena. Yeah. I think Frieza might have some bones to pick with future Trunks, seeing what happened the last time that they met each other. That would be, just for that alone, like, you went to the trouble of bringing back Frieza for a freaking, was that technically the third time? Well, technically the third time. Well, was it the fourth or third? Well, he didn't actually die when he was on Namek. He was saved and turned into a cyborg, then he died, then he came back, so this will be the third time he's coming back, yeah, so, yeah, I really, I mean, I can maybe see the thing with Boo, Whis waking him back up. I can maybe see some other characters show up that I'm not really thinking of right now. But in terms of like a mysterious, character just showing up at the last minute to save everybody, I think it's Trunks. I don't see anybody else that it could really be, for my opinion. Other than if you're just going to do the whole circle jerk thing with Boo. And I don't think they're going to do that. I think they would have revealed it at that point. Good way to get Trunks back into the franchise. You just have to kind of circumnavigate that whole time travel against the laws of the universe thing, which you could probably manage to do rather well. Yeah, I feel like I'm just rambling on a little bit now. There's also going to be a thing about Universe 11 that I'm going to talk about here. Warriors of the 8 universes and the gods arrive at the endless world where the Tournament of Power is being held. An astonished fact was announced at the Grand Priest that the warrior that falls off the battle stage is said to disappear on the spot. Yeah, okay. Oh, by the way, that also might hint that maybe the Grand Priest isn't on the up and up. I don't know if you guys want to say yes to that, but I would say yes to that. Just me, though. Just me going off on an end there. And then episode 98, where the title of the episode's actually not revealed yet. The universes are divided up, and as one that takes the proposal to the 11th universe and the other universes that do not accept the proposal, Goku was enjoying the situation as members of the 7th universe were targeted by many warriors. So there's going to be some proposal that's going to be set by the 11th universe. Don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be a proposal among like Zeno and the Grand Priest, like he's making a proposal to those guys, or he's making a proposal to the other universes, like, hey, instead of going after each other, let's go after Universe 7 at first, or something like that. Maybe that'll be the proposal they're going for. Some of the universes will go for it, some of them won't. But Universe 11 is certainly keep your eyes on Universe 11 there. But yeah, so for right now, I'm debunking on Trunks being the 10th member for realsies. I hope so anyway. But what do you guys think? Who do you think's going to fill the gap as the 10th warrior? What do you think's up with the tournament? What do you think's up with the Grand Priest disappearing? Who's going to poof? All that shit. Thanks for watching, guys. This will be Tekking101. Almost cinched the outro. Almost cinched it. Had to burp. I apologize. This is Tekking101 signing out. Later, guys.